You know, ever since shelter in place started, I have felt like my planner was my adversary. Days where I feel like I have nothing going on, or even if I did have something going on, picking up my planner just felt like a pain in the ass. I don't think I'm the only one who feels that way. I know this because my friend Kristen in the Llamas Love Lettering group on Facebook asked me to make a video or a podcast about what to do with your planner if you have no plans, how to use it if you have no plans. So I thought, why not give you my 10 best tips on how to use your planner when you have no plans, coming from somebody who hasn't really used their planner very much in the last 6 months. Does that make me an expert? Probably not. Number one is to ask yourself a question. Why is it that you want to use your planner if you have no plans? If you don't have anything to put in your planner, why would you want to use it anyway? What is it that is making you feel bad about not using it or compelling you to use it despite the fact that you don't really need to? Is it the habit? Do you feel like, well, I use it every week, I should have it every week, so even though I don't have anything to put in it, I still feel like I should be putting something in it? Is it guilt? Believe me, I've felt guilted by my planner before. I'm looking at it like, bastard, stop looking at me like that. You're not the boss of me. Is it the creative aspect? Are you missing the hobby of it? Are you missing the fun of decorating it, however you decorate, whether you're using stamps or stickers or just creative lettering or whatever the case may be? What is it that you actually are feeling about using it when you have no plans? If you can identify that, that might tell you what it is you need to do. My second tip is to use it as a diary or a book tracker or a memory keeper or whatever the case may be. Journal your feelings. Rather than planning your week out in advance, use it throughout the week to make notes of thoughts you've had during the week or songs that you've liked or books that you've read or shows that you've watched. God knows I have watched enough shows and movies in the past 6 months to fill multiple planners up. But instead of worrying about planning your week, use it to track your week. And it doesn't necessarily mean track how much water you drank. It could just mean track the food you ate or track the feelings you've had. That could be a way to look back on this very unprecedented time in our lives and have kind of a record of it. You could make notes on a post-it and then go back and do what some people call back planning, although for me it just means memory keeping, and go back and fill it in with fancy stickers and lettering and everything. Write down everything on a piece of paper and then go back and put it all in a fancy way. Since I started decorative planning and being part of the Facebook communities, there have always been people who have talked shit on people who like to use stickers or fancy shit in their planners or their bullet journals. There's always been people who are like purists and saying you're doing it wrong. Well, my third tip for you is to lean into the stereotype. If you have no plans, bust out your stickers and just sticker the fuck out of your planner. Treat it like a sticker book, or treat it like an art journal and just slap on some stamps and some inks and some ephemera and all sorts of things. Make it fancy, make it pretty, pick a theme and just decorate the shit out of it, even if you don't have anything to put in there. You could put like wake up with 25 different stickers and then go to sleep with 85 other stickers. If people tell you your planner is just a glorified sticker book, prove them right. I've actually done number 4 before, and I have a lot of fun with it. Make shit up. Create a week of plans that you have no intention of doing. You could create your fantasy plans, like, well, right now I wish I was in, Bermuda or something, having a fancy drink on the beach. I don't know, like doing something fancy with fancy people. Or you could talk about having lunch with Chris Hemsworth and then he sweeps you off your feet. Make up some plans. Make them funny, make them aspirational. They could be as mundane as if life was, regular, then perhaps regular life would look like this. Or if this was my dream life, what would it look like? Make some shit up and then decorate and plan it the way you would any other week. And if making shit up is not something you're in the mood for, my 5th tip is to go one step further and start gluing some pages together. You'll never have to look back on those weeks when you had no plans if you can't see them, can you? Grab yourself a tape runner, grab yourself some glue, and just slap some glue on the pages, stick them together, and move on. In my case, I would have to glue like 2 or 3 months together, which would be a pretty big page to turn, so I might just rip them out altogether, but you do you, dude. Number 6 is to try a fuckery plan with me. Now, what is that? Well, you can go back and watch some of my Hot Mess Live plan with me's that I've done in the past where I have planned my week out left-handed even though I'm a righty, or filled my week up with a no white space sticker week, or using stamps even though I hate doing that. Find something you hate to do or something that would frustrate you, have a glass of wine, and fuck your planner up. I have tried in the past to actually use my planner after a fuckery, and the more fucked up it is, the harder it is to use my planner. So if you majestically fuck it up for the week, well, you said you had no plans, so it shouldn't hurt anybody. And if you're looking for ways to do that while having no plans, go back to one of my previous steps and make some shit up when you go and drink your wine and fuck up your planner. It's really cathartic. I promise you. And there's something real funny about flipping through your planner and be like, oh yeah, I did this week. What the hell did I do that week? I'm just speaking from personal experience here, dudes. Number 7, burn that mother down. You think I'm jesting. I probably am. But you know, you might have a fire pit, or you might have an opportunity to start some flames. Planners make great kindling when it comes to making s'mores and roasting marshmallows. I actually don't know that. There actually may be problems with burning laminate or coils or whatever, so please don't try this at home. But there is something fun about thinking about squirting some lighter fluid on your planner, putting it on a grill, and lighting it up Misery style. If you haven't seen Misery, 10 out of 10 recommend. The book is awesome too. Back in December, I did a video about why I hate my bullet journal, and part of what I showed in the beginning was sticking it in the freezer. There is something really cathartic about sticking your planner in the freezer and leaving it there for a week. And when you get it back, it's going to be toasty cold, and if it's a hot day, it's going to be something real nice about touching your icy cold pages as you start putting stuff on it. But out of sight, out of mind. If not the freezer, then under your bed. How about in a box in your garage? Why don't you put it underneath your fancy work clothes since you're probably not wearing them right now? I have a pile of shit in the garage that I keep telling myself I'm going to organize, and I haven't yet, so it'd be a perfect idea to just shove my planner right into there, because that means I won't look at it for months. Now let's say you really don't have any plans, but you've got a couple Zoom calls your kids have to be on, or you need to know what food you're going to make each day. Write it really big. Just fill up your planner with spaghetti. Or if you have a simple dinner like grilled cheese sandwiches, you could be more specific and say melted Havarti cheese on extra sour bread with butter on both sides, cooked in a frying pan. And that's my dinner. Just write really big, write excessively long, overly detailed, so that your simplest things that you put in there look way more majestic. And then you can put stickers on there too, and just be like, look at this. These are my fancy plans. I'm going to remove my clothes and delicately put them in the basket by my bathroom before I step under a stream of hot water and lovingly rinse the dirt from my body, like my shower, Have some fun with it. It's like the Canterbury Tales of your own goddamn life. Most of these tips have been pretty joking, but ultimately, my 10th tip, if you really want to know how to use your planner when you think you have no plans, is to ask yourself the question, do you really have no plans? Do you? What are you doing every day? There are some people that can be little shitheads and talk smack about people needing to write things like, brush your teeth or take a deuce or whatever in their planner. But for some people, that gives them a sense of normalcy and a sense of control in a world that feels like it's spinning out of control. One of the planners I've been enjoying the most lately has been the Budget Mom Planner, because it basically gives you a worksheet to fill out every week on your life. And that actually makes me feel good. In normal times, I would feel like my planner was trying to boss me around and it would piss me off. But right now, it feels good to have somebody kind of tell me what to do, because it feels like I'm sort of drifting in this world right now. And I don't like feeling out of control. So stop and maybe take a day or two in a week that feel like a normal day and write down everything you do that day, in your planner or otherwise. What do? You make yourself breakfast? Do you go for a walk? Do you have any Zoom calls? Do your kids have any Zoom calls if you have kids? Do you have to feed your pets? Do you have to love on your pets? Do you make your bed? Do you do laundry? Do you put your feet up? What do you watch on TV? What do you read? What apps do you look at on your phone? Do you spend a lot of time playing Animal Crossing or a different video game? In your video game, what is it you're doing? If you look at what you're actually doing throughout the day, that gives you some things you can put in your planner. And that doesn't mean that you're really planning your life out, but it gives you a way to sort of look at your life and track the things that you're doing, so that as more things start to come back into it, you can fit them into the routines that you've built for yourself over the course of this shelter in place. You don't have to have a super exciting life to have something to put in your planner. God knows I know this. My life is anything but exciting these days, except when my health starts acting up, which is all the time. Ultimately, how to use your planner when you have no plans? Do whatever the fuck you want with it, because it's supposed to work for you. And we're going to be doing more videos about that soon, about making it work for you and not the way Instagram shows it, or the way YouTube shows it, or the way the planner influencers tell you to do it, or whatever the case may be. Ultimately, it's a tool to help you with your day, to brighten your day, whatever it is that you need. And if you ask yourself that first question, why is it that you feel the urge to use your planner when you have no plans? If it makes you happy and that's why you want to be using it, then try one of these goofy tips, and maybe that'll help make you happy until the next time that you have a Zoom call to record. I just want you to be happy. It's hard to be happy when the world feels like it's burning down, but my friends, we can always find little things to help us smile even when the rest of it gives us permanent stank face. I'm living my life with permanent stank face right now, but every once in a while, I get a little cackle on, and that helps. Every little bit helps. I hope I gave you one of those today. I love to hear your best tongue-in-cheek tips for people who don't have any plans on what to do with their planners in the comments below. Like, let's be funny, dudes. We don't need to be serious here. Seriousness has gone out the door. Except to make sure to wash your hands, wear a mask, stay safe, register to vote, and subscribe. And until next time, peace out.